I'm gonna talk sports with you a little bit though.
Let's go.
So I'm a Houston Rockets fan. You know, H-Town till I drown. Everything Houston,
Yes.
I support, and I understand that you are a San Antonio Spurs fan.
I'm a big San Antonio Spurs fan.
Why San Antonio? Like, why are we rooting for San Antonio?
See, I grew up. I don't even know what it was, but there was something about watching Tim Duncan play basketball because he's the big Mr. Fundamentalist, very pure, very true to the game. And I don't know, there was something really almost like artistic about watching him play basketball because it was never something like super flashy or anything, which flashy is a part of the game. It brings entertainment in. But he was still so entertaining to watch, even if he wasn't like jumping 5 feet above the net, trying to get a dunk or something. It was so crazy. And then you add Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all of them together. It was just a wonderful time. Plus, we won continuously. We were in the playoffs for like 20-something years.
This is true.
It was a great thing to experience.
They definitely, like you say, it was a fundamentally sound team. Probably one of the greatest teams coming out of the state of Texas in the NBA history for sure.
Plus, I'm a massive Greg Popovich fan. Like on the court, off the court, that man's morals, that man's ideals, how he feels about the game, how he feels about fans, people in general. I just adore that man.
He's probably one of the greatest coaches in history of sports, period.
Yes.
I was just going to talk about him, though, saying, talking about Tim Duncan and how he wasn't the flashiest player, but he was very efficient.
Yes,
it seems
extremely.
Like that's kind of like the guy that he wants to go after in the player because once Tim Duncan's tenure started to come to an end, you see guys like Kawhi Leonard who literally show no expression, whether he's in the media, on the floor. He could be dunking and it's just a straight face.
Yes.
But he's going to ball and give you that, for 4 quarters.
And I think that's the one thing is it's so exciting to watch. Like even if they weren't like yelling, screaming, getting in each other's face, hyping each other up, it was just so exciting to sit and watch the San Antonio Spurs. I remember the 2014 championship. That was just amazing.
So, 2 teams in the state of Texas. Obviously, we have Dallas on the other side as well. But we're talking about the Spurs and the Rockets, who are both in a rebuild right now.
Yes, we're not looking too hot right now. But
not looking too good, sitting at 14 and 15 at the bottom of the West. Not where we want to be. But speaking optimistically, which team do you think, realistically, no bias involved.
Okay.
Which team do you think has a chance to maybe get that championship before the other?
Well, I will say San Antonio has a very young team. And a good thing about San Antonio is they build players that stick around for a very long time. I mean, look at Tim Duncan, Manu. They all retired as Spurs after double-digit number of years. And so I think if they can continue that process, especially being led by someone like Keldon Johnson, they'll do an amazing job. So I'm still going to go with the Spurs.
Okay.
They have an amazing coach backing them. Tim Duncan is constantly in that training room. Manu Ginobili is constantly in that training room. You can't help but be surrounded by successful people and not hope to produce success.
Y'all do have a great coach. I'll give y'all that. Y'all's coach is like light years ahead of who we have right now. But you talk about Tim Duncan and those guys coming back and helping players. The Rockets, I could say the same thing for us. I mean, you see Alperen Sengun. I mean, he's developing to be one of the better centers in the league right now. And you have guys like Akeem the Dream, Olajuwon, in there helping him in the gym. And you see him doing a lot of his same moves that Olajuwon did years ago. It's really exciting to see that. But I'm going to have to disagree. I really think the Rockets have a better chance. Yes, you guys have the better coach. You're known for building, teams to win. But I think just with the draft capital that Houston has and the young talent in the core that they already have with Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., people like Jabari and Tari, they're pretty exciting young rookies coming in. I think we have all the assets. We just have to find out how to fit them and piece them together.
But if I remember correctly, in a discussion we had earlier, you said you weren't so sure about the coaching staff. How do you expect a team to be led to a championship when you don't have trust in your coaching staff?
Well, if I'm being honest, I know I'm a Houston fan, so I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I'm going to be a little unbiased here. I feel like Coach Silas isn't the answer. And I think that's my biggest take as far as the team that we have and the results that we're putting up. I think after this season, you won't see Silas as the head coach of the Houston Rockets. So whoever we bring in next, hopefully they're significantly better, but they'll have all the pieces And if Silas continues on the track that he's on right now, we're going to have Wemby on this team in Houston to add along with the Jalen Greens and the other stars that we have. So I don't know. I feel pretty confident. It's just if we can get rid of that coaching staff, at least the head coach, we definitely have a bright future.
But don't you think San Antonio is going to be in the position to be building their players while y'all are just looking for a coach?
That could be true, but the assistant coaches that we have, the developmental coaches that we have, they have respects of their own. I mean, Silas is known for that also as well. I feel like he's one of those people that he's great at developing young talent, maybe not as the guy calling the main shots, but they have already had years with him. They've already had years with the coaching staff. They've already been developing. You talk about the guys we have. Yeah, they're young, and you guys will have that advantage with Popovich already having a coaching staff established, but they've already been together. You know, they've already built this camaraderie, this chemistry. So it's not like we have a bunch of rookies coming in. They'll be 2-3 years already in. And, I mean, we'll see where they go from there. When I look at us, I feel like I see a lot of the Boston Celtics of recent years where they go and they get Jaylen Brown, and they go the next year and get Jason Tatum, and just slowly but surely Marcus Smart, and just finding the pieces through the draft and just building a young team who ultimately each season progressed. I mean, you see them go up against the LeBron Jameses of the world when he was still with the Cavs, trying to make it to that championship, level. But I mean, they fell short until, finally now you see them going up against the Warriors just this past season. It's going to take some time, but if we're talking about who's going to make it there first, I think Houston has that leverage.
So if you don't think Coach Silas is the answer, who is your dream answer?
If I had to choose, I'd have to go with the Celtics' current head coach. I mean, we know he's on the hot seat to leave with, the scandal and everything that's going on. And like I said, our situation is comparable to what they had in Boston. So if we can grab that coach to come in and slide in Houston and do the same thing pretty much that he did in his first year in Boston with that young core, that would be incredible.
Definitely would be interesting.